Today's guest runs the Las Vegas Philharmonic, not behind the scenes, but at the helm.
We had a very robust organization there where we would sometimes play 40 or 50 weeks of shows.
She led orchestras in Detroit, Sacramento, and now in Las Vegas. Not chasing spotlight, but shaping it.
We moved here because we thought maybe we want to retire here. And I love being in this community and helping to create what comes next.
In a city built on distraction, she's building something that matters.
We wanted to grow with the city. That's the only way you can stay relevant.
Legacy isn't something you leave behind. It's something you build. This is Alice. Wow, what an adventure this is. Still is. No, it is.
How many years have you been doing this?
We've been doing it for 3 months.
3 months?
We're about close to our 30th guest.
Oh my gosh.
We've lost count.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we're like 10 guests ahead. Yeah, and today, So today, our adventure brings us to the Smith Center of the Performing Arts. It's a big mouthful to say. I'm trying to say everything right. We're here with the executive director of the Las Vegas Philharmonic. So Vegas Voices is sticking to its promise of bringing those great human beings that are building our city. And I'm very honored to be here. I never imagined that I would end up in such a beautiful setting with such an amazing human being.
Thank you.
Alice, welcome to Vegas Voices.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
My pleasure. Let's start at your origin story. You're Juilliard trained, right?
Yes.
And then now you have turned into executive director. What was the pivot point that changed your path, like from being a performer to being such a leader?
I was always a leader. I was a concertmaster for the Broadway shows in Detroit. We had a very robust organization there where we would sometimes play 40 or 50 weeks of shows for the Nederlanders.
Okay. What is a concertmaster though?
The concertmaster is the first chair, and they set the bowings and they lead the organization, the orchestra, and work on intonation and leading everybody following the conductor.
Thank you.
And so that was my role for 29 years for the Nederlander family. About 11 years into that, our person who was our contractor passed away. He was 90 years old, and he was a wonderful violinist. And so it was asked to me if I would like to take over that role of hiring all the musicians and shaping the orchestra artistically for all the shows that come in. And so I was very honored to do that. So that was my first role, doing something more in administration. After about 20-some years of performing, my neck decided that 8 shows a week or 8 performances a week of some things was a little bit too much. So I have 2 bad discs in my neck that have been overused. And I tried for a few years to go through physical therapy and things, but nothing really was going to make it better when you're aggravating it every day. This is repetitive motion and something that a lot of people experience. So in 2007, I was offered the opportunity to join the Detroit Symphony administrative staff in the personnel office. Everybody knew me there. I had worked there for 20 years already alongside my Fisher Theater work. And so that's where my real administrative work began.
That's amazing. I would have never thought how it can take a toll on the body being a violinist and performing so much. I see one of the observations you were saying, this guy died at 90, and usually musicians that enjoy music, they get taken to a much higher age.
Yes, many of them are, sure.
The music just drives you.
Yes, it does. It's wonderful. It's just, you feel it through your entire body.
Right, I was thinking of the guys in the Buena Vista Social Club. They're
oh
like,
my gosh, they're so great.
Yeah. And they're still going, and they're like 100 years old or
That's
something.
That's right. I love it. I know, I love those guys.
Wow, thanks for that backdrop. So
sure.
You went from Detroit to Sacramento, and now you're in Las Vegas. You've led 3 major American orchestras. What makes this chapter with the Las Vegas Philharmonic uniquely meaningful?
Great question. We moved here because we thought maybe we want to retire here. My husband was transferred here for his job. He has since retired, loves it here. We both love it here. And I love being in this community and helping to create what comes next, because this is a growing community. Yes. Our orchestra is only 26 years old. Wow. Which is very young.
Is that young in orchestra terms?
Very young.
Okay.
When in Detroit, our orchestra was created in 1887. Wow. New York Philharmonic, probably earlier than that, Chicago Symphony. So we get to shape the future of this orchestra, and I'm so excited to be part of that journey.
In a way, an orchestra is an institution then?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep, but it's created for and with the community.
Well, thank you, yeah. And it seems like, I was just walking around, it seems like this place is a little oasis in the desert for arts, for the arts, because we don't have a lot, right?
Right.
I get that feeling like when I'm around New York, even Mexico City.
It's a very rich community.
Chicago, yeah, it's Bellas Artes, it's a fantastic place. The Palace, you've probably been there, but there is a special feeling, a special kind of, like a church, or like you said, like an institution, right? These places of the arts, through hundreds of years, become and create their own energy.
Yes.
Wow. So a lot of people are surprised that we even have a Philharmonic. A lot of people seeing this probably aren't just, it's the first time hearing about it, right? What do you say to someone who thinks the city is all about showgirls and slot machines and gambling?
Well, it just points that we have two different cities here.
Yes.
We have those few miles over on what we call the Strip.
Yes.
And the rest of it is for those of us who live here.
Okay.
And we all are creating this community together, and it changes quite often. And so I think that for tourists that come in, they're coming in for some special thing. If we can kind of let them know that we have more than just showgirls and slot machines, but mostly what we are serving is this population here. So we are working really hard to get the word out so people are aware. And we have so many community programs and programs for kids, which also helps develop this city of Las Vegas.
Thank you for that. I noticed there's a lot of development around. I mean, there's a lot of things happening around. You know, I see a big building here being built. What can you tell us a bit more about what's happening in the area? Since you come in here, you work here.
Yes, so I don't know all the names of all these buildings, but the growth has been rapid in the last couple of years. There's a hotel going over there. Most of these are rental residences. The Cello Tower just broke ground last week. That's going to be apartment condominiums for people to live there, so they buy them. And there are some other buildings that are going around that will house other artistic institutions. They're creating the Elaine Wynn Art Museum. That's going to be just up the street. And there will be a few other places. So this is called the Heart of the Arts in Symphony Park.
That's what I was going to say. You are the heart.
And so this is this little community where it's all kind of congregating here. And as we have Fremont Street and have the Arts District, this is the more cultural arts in that way. And of course, we have the ballet here. And so all of these things together are creating this next little neighborhood and pocket of concentrative activity.
That's great to hear. And do you think that's going to bring in more people that are prone to the arts and, you know, being...
I think so. I really think so. When you have it all together and then you have nice places to eat and you can stroll around and be safe, and it's just lovely down here with all the trees and everything. So I think it's a great draw.
Yeah, I had the chance to hear the founder of Circa talk about Las Vegas, and I asked him the same question, where do you see Las Vegas heading? And he just pointed to this place, right? We were over at Circa and he pointed down there. Yeah. Like saying, yeah, there's going to be money and there's going to be energy going to this side of town.
Right, and Derek Stevens certainly knows about that.
Well, that's great.
And he's from Detroit.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he is. That's very true. That's a whole nother story. We'll have him on the podcast. I'm shooting to get him very soon.
Great.
So little by little, we're putting it out there, getting more of... I just fall in love with doing these things because I find more and more, like, it's the heartbeat of the city. Like,
it is.
People like you are the heartbeat of the city.
And you.
So, well, I just try to bring a voice to them. Thank you.
That's good.
So you brought in Leonard Slatkin as an artistic consultant, a name that carries serious weight in the classical world. What does his involvement mean for the Philharmonic's artistic future? And first, let's explain who Leonard is.
Leonard Slatkin is in his 80s now. I think he's 81 this year. He's one of the greatest living American conductors.
Okay.
His parents worked in Hollywood.
Okay.
They had the Hollywood String Quartet. They played for all the movies. His mother was the cellist who played Jaws.
Wow.
And Leonard was coming to Las Vegas since he was about 5, he and his brother. His parents played for Frank Sinatra and all these other people. And so Leonard grew up with all different styles of music, but yet he went into becoming a classical conductor and really developed nicely in that arena. He's got, I don't know, 7 or 8 or 10 Grammys. I don't know what the count is. And so he's the elder statesman in our classical music world. But he always championed new music and young artists, and he still has that sensibility today, but yet now he gets to do all the fun stuff that he always wanted to do. So he and I worked together quite a bit in Detroit, and I called him up one day and I said, you know, we're going to be in a music director search. Can we talk about what do you think a music director needs to be doing in today's world? And so we started having conversations, and finally I looked at him and I said, I have a question for you. And he said, yes. And I said, I didn't even ask it. He said, I already know what you're going to ask. He said, yes, I will come and help you with your orchestra, and I would love to conduct your orchestra, and let's develop it until you're ready to have your next music director.
So is that happening as we
So that
speak?
is happening. He's been here twice this year.
Okay.
He will come twice next year. He comes on other visits to help with auditioning new musicians and talking to our board members and donors and community leaders. And everybody's having so much fun. He's just having a wonderful time helping these musicians after COVID and all kinds of things find their own voice again as a collective unit. And the audience feels this in the performances.
Would you call him a mentor
Yes.
in that sense?
Yes.
Because it's very important to bring in, who the persons are that bring us up. That
Yep.
There's always a mentor behind a great person. Thank you for that. So there's something counterintuitive about, you've booked, talking about like where an orchestra should be heading, you've booked a full orchestra with Nas. Mm-hmm. You've gotten them to perform Queen, Beatles. You've even programmed Bugs Bunny at the Symphony. Is this a new model for keeping symphonies relevant?
I think so.
Okay.
I think all of it is. But Bugs Bunny at the Symphony, I used to play that show in the very beginning. It's going to be 35 years old this year, and I played it probably 35 years ago.
Wow.
So that's universal. All those Warner Brothers cartoons with Bugs Bunny and Donald Duck and all of those, they're all fantastic. And you see multi-generations. So you see grandparents with their kids, with their grandkids, and the great-grandkids. And it just unites everybody. And that is all straight up classical music. That's a lot of opera music. And it speaks to people in that multifaceted way. Bringing in the John Williams movies. All of these things, bringing in the rock band. The first time people started seeing a full orchestra with a rock band out front, playing We Will Rock You. I mean, that was just so exciting for people. They'd never imagined that could be together like that. And it's the same reaction we get when we go to perform with Nas.
Right.
Here is this iconic rapper with this album, Illmatic, that is considered the best of all time in that genre. And then we have 45 musicians playing along with him. And it is the coolest thing. The vibe in that room is amazing.
It definitely is. It brings me back, I don't know, we're probably a couple generations apart, but mine was Guns N' Roses and November Rain, and that was groundbreaking at the time. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. It's all good.
Wow. Well, yeah, I mean...
It all goes together.
It all, you're right. You're right. We have to blend things these days so that it's palatable to everybody and the kids these days, What are you thinking about bringing music, classical music, to kids and the new generations?
Well, I think these kids, the new generation, they have all their video games, and all that music is based on classical music. It all sounds like Mahler and Beethoven and other straight-up classical composers. Very complicated. They like the complicated nature of it because it makes their brain think. We actually had a young man in high school who is autistic in some way, and he doesn't sit quietly most places. So one of our board members said, "Can I bring him in with my colleague?" He came in and came to Shostakovich's Fifth Symphony with Leonard Slatkin at a rehearsal, and he just was completely mesmerized and never moved. And at intermission, he said, "Can we stay for the rest of this?" So he went back up to his seat, and it was fascinating for him. So I think we have to give our kids credit that they love all of these more complicated things today because it gives them, it uses their brain. Music uses right brain and left brain, and it makes them better learners.
Correct. And within your community programs and everything, do you have stuff for the new generations to come in or learn or be more participative of it?
Yes, we are expanding some of our programs. We have the normal programs where all those school buses line up and you see 2,000 kids coming in at a time, and so we cycle through 6,000 or 10,000 in a week.
Wow.
And they get to come in the hall and hear the whole full orchestra. So that's really exciting for them to come to the Smith Center. You know, some of them may never have a chance to come here. So it's to show that this is their symphony orchestra and the Smith Center belongs to them.
I mean, it's still affordable. It's not like going to an Anima concert. You're paying $200.
Sure.
I mean, it's
we have $10 and $15 tickets for kids, so yeah.
Yeah, it's affordable for everybody. Everybody should be here. Everybody in town, every day.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion. So yeah, well, that brings me really well into the next question, which is there's something very counterintuitive about having a world-class orchestra here in the desert, right? And how do you make that worth both artistically and financially?
So I think it goes along with what we've been talking about. Just because the weather is 115 in the summer doesn't mean that we can't still have all this culture. So we have great air conditioning here, and we can have concerts indoors. We can hold outdoor concerts when the weather is lovely, kind of like it is today.
Wow.
You know, we could maybe schedule something out on the lawn somewhere. We can do little pop-up concerts if we want to. Even in Fremont Street, they have performers that are outside. So I think the desert really has nothing to do with it, although it may be feeling unusual because there aren't that many desert places that have symphony orchestras. But we all live here, and you know, Chicago has culture, New York has culture. We have culture here too, and we all deserve it, and it is part of what this city is.
Heck yeah, and in 75 years, we're going to be talking about you, right? As
Oh,
one of the
my
founding legends and one of the people that brought it and made it a 100-year institution, right?
Well,
like
yes,
those
that's what we
places.
want. But we want it to be relevant and grow with the city. That's the only way you can stay relevant.
Well, yeah, you have to be part of it, right?
Yeah.
It's interwoven.
Yep.
You've made space for winners of local concerto competitions to perform with a full orchestra. What impact does that kind of opportunity have on young musicians?
Well, this is such a great experience for them. They get to come out and play and perform for kids their same age. And sometimes they play it multiple times, so then they get to learn what that is, that when you perform something and then maybe you didn't like this part, you can go back and try it again the second time and maybe work on that. But it helps them learn how to be comfortable with performing in front of a group, because like here we are, we're talking to all your viewers, and it's important to have your voice so that you learn how to not worry about the nerves, but just be comfortable and be yourself. And it doesn't have to be perfect, but express yourself.
That is very cool, right? Because music, I think of a Juilliard trained musician, and it's like top of the top, and it's probably 8 hours a day of practice. But you gotta give kids an entry point so that they can get to be that type of thing.
That's right.
Right. Mm-hmm. Do we have any music programs kind of like that, or that are gearing to be as that high level here
Yes,
in
we
Vegas?
do. We have a number of them. We have, like, I started when I was 4.
Okay.
And so, you know, we performed every week. in front of our parents,
Yes.
right? But we have those programs here. We have several performing arts high schools that have really great programs. There are other after-school programs that are beginning to develop kids. So there's actually a lot of that here, which is really interesting to me. I had no idea, and I'm just beginning to get more involved in that.
Yeah, because that's your feeder, right?
Yes.
That's where you have to go and recruit your talent. It's like your
That's
draft.
right. That's right. Because if you don't teach them now, then you won't have those folks for your orchestra later on.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Which is important.
But you know, if I might,
Yeah, please.
training children in the world of music or any of the performing arts activities is not necessarily about them becoming a member of their local symphony or New York Philharmonic or whatever it is. It's more about developing them as a person and making them better learners by training both sides of their brain, because then they can go out and be greater value to their community.
Right. Music shapes the brain in a different way.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
That's one of the things that I've noticed. Some of my best friends have always been musicians.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are cut out of a different cloth.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
I was never able to play a tune or do anything. It wasn't my talent this lifetime. But always, some of my best friends have always been musicians, and I've always jived a lot with artistic talent. I guess because I'm such a right-brained individual that, or left brain. Yeah, I would say left brain. So I'm always into numbers and exact things and marketing and all that. But you still need a little bit of your right brain, right?
Well, it all goes together.
It all goes together. So Vegas is one of most of our cities in the country. How are you using programming and partnerships to reflect that diversity in your audience and in your stage?
So yes, this is a great thing to be working on. In this music director search,
Yes.
I thought it was important for us to be able to bring in different conductors that have different points of view, different styles, and have different ethnicities. So in January, we had a female conductor, and she's got a lot of hair, so she had a big long ponytail, and it kind of moves around when she's conducting because she's very emotive.
What's her name?
Her name is Michelle Merrill.
Okay.
She and I have worked together a number of times. And people came to me afterwards, they said, we have never seen a female conductor before. So this was really eye-opening for them. The next conductor that we brought in had very dark skin. He's an African-American young man, and he was tall and had this beautiful voice, and he was even more expressive in his movements, and he spoke really beautifully to the audience. People were just enamored with that. So, you know, every one of them looks different, comes from a different background, but it's music that unites us. And so these are some of the things that we're doing to show that we can look and be, and we are diverse. Next year, one of our programs is all Hispanic, and we've already spoken to the Mexican consulate, and so they'd like to come and do some activities with us on that program. And then this weekend, we have a young lady who is from a program called Broadway in the Hood, where they are training young kids from poorer neighborhoods that would never have an opportunity. So we're doing what we can to bring people together.
Very good. So coming on that, the financial point is very, very important. You've helped multiple orchestras navigate those turnarounds and all those cultural transitions. So what is the toughest part of keeping an arts organization both solvent and inspired?
To me, it's very important that you never forget where you were and what it took to get where you are now. Because it's easy to say, oh, well, we're doing fine now, and you know, we're balancing our budget and it's okay. But you always have to be diligent, because in a nonprofit, you want to be wonderful stewards of the funds from donors and grantors, and it's your duty to make sure that those monies are spent for what it should be, which is putting the musicians on the stage and going out in the community. So that is number one. When you can accomplish that, then you can really do great artistic things that make it so exciting.
Right. And in this case, you have to treat it like a business, right?
You do. You have to. Absolutely.
Okay.
And this is music and math, because they go to music and math. Most musicians are good in math. So I know how to balance a checkbook, and I know how to follow make sure the money is going where it should be. So that's what we're doing.
Head in the clouds and feet on the ground. Very nice. Let's go back to the adventures back in the pandemic time. You led the Association of California Symphony Orchestras as a board president. What leadership lessons did you learn and shape your work today during those challenging times?
It was really important for us to all work together and help one another and listen. Mm-hmm. And we still do that today. We set up meetings once a month, and we realized it wasn't enough during those challenging times because everything was changing. So we got to having once a week meetings for all the CEOs. And that helped us all apply for our PPP loans and all the different types of things. So it was really keeping everybody focused and, again, just working together. And that's a model for any group that you're in. You have to work together.
And thank you for bringing that here to us, to Vegas. If you had to describe your leadership style in one phrase, what would it be?
That I allow my staff to have a voice because they're all young and smarter than me. And I am here to help them grow and guide the organization together because it can't just be about me.
Wow. The Philharmonic is now entering its 27th season. What is your North Star as you guide this organization through the next decade?
So this is a lot of what we've been talking about, but to me it's most important that we stay entrepreneurial. We're still, we're small and have to be able to shift as the community shifts. And with that is when we listen to the community and they tell us what they're interested in by what they're coming to or what their comments are. And if a concert isn't selling, then we have to think about why that is. And so expanding our reach. So these are all the things that will be helping us as we move for the next 10 years. We need to develop the voice of this organization for the next 100 years.
Absolutely, and I see there's a total market for it. My wife and I recently went to a concert, the Candlelight concerts.
Oh, yes.
You probably know those guys, and they're doing an amazing work in their marketing. Mm-hmm. I respect good marketing because I'm a marketer, of course. We got their Facebook ads, and we ended up in a concert, and they seem to have groupies and a following.
Mm-hmm.
And
they do.
And that, there is a rabbit, there is a hunger for culture.
Yep.
In the city. So whether it's Nas, John Williams scores, or Mahler symphonies, how do you decide what mix of music keeps things artistically credible and commercially viable?
Well, there's your marketing question.
Yes. You said you had that part too.
Right.
We'll put you on the spot.
You need to have a little bit of understanding, do I have to put Bolero on this program or Dvorak New World Symphony, or this week we have Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, something that is known so that people then will say, oh yeah, I want to go hear that, or I know that symphony. And then they get to come in and hear this wash of sound and learn about other works that may become their favorites and hear some young soloists. So that is the mix of artistically. If you have something that is more populist, then you can, which often is artistically satisfying, but you can also have some other artistic voices too, like a young new composer. And then we balance it out by some of the really populist things like Bugs Bunny at the Symphony that help us sell 2 performances and maybe more as time goes on. And then that helps to balance the financials.
Very well. When people look back at your tenure in the Philharmonic, what do you hope they say about what you have built?
That we have been authentic to this community and that we brought joy and happiness to people through music.
Wow. You have brought a lot of joy, at least to me. I thank you for that. All right, let's go. We always have a rapid fire, and it's always tailored to our guest.
Okay.
So let's get going with that part.
All right, I'm ready.
Beethoven or the Beatles?
Beethoven.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be. What's the biggest myth about symphony orchestras?
That they're stuffy and for their grandparents.
No, it's not. I bet there's a lot of drama behind, too. The most emotional concert you've ever programmed?
Mahler Second.
Okay.
That's the Resurrection Symphony.
All right.
With full chorus and full orchestra. We did that when Sacramento came back and had been dark for a year and had already been bankrupt 4 times.
All right. Favorite piece to hear live, no matter how many times?
Schubert chamber music.
Okay.
Because I mostly work in orchestra.
Cool. What do musicians do right before the curtain goes up?
You take a deep breath and you get ready for the excitement of the program.
Do you always get those butterflies?
You do. It's just, when the visual of the curtain going up is different, but when you're the concertmaster, you walk out by yourself to tune the orchestra, and it's the same thing. You just have to get ready because it's exciting, and you hear the applause and the lights, and it's an exciting thing every single time.
It becomes an energy by
It
itself,
is,
doesn't
absolutely.
it? Just having the public, it just makes it happen.
And for many of them, they've never been to a concert before. It's always somebody's first time. So when I played Phantom of the Opera 500 times. And there are difficult violin solos for the concertmaster. And you have to be good and play it beautifully every single time because there's always somebody it's their first time.
That is a great respect to have for your audience. That's a very, very good mindset shift that I had not thought about. You just made my brain into a pretzel.
Good.
Thinking about it. Cool. Dream artist you love to see perform with the Las Vegas Philharmonic?
How about Yu Wang?
Okay. Hey, maybe he hears this podcast and
She is a Asian pianist,
Okay.
and she's the one that has the mini skirts and the really tall high heels.
Okay.
She's very exciting.
There's another exciting girl that's very contemporary, Lindsay Sterling. You probably heard of
She
her.
comes here sometimes.
Yeah, I know. I think I've seen them.
Yep.
I've seen her mentioned. Okay, cool. One lesson your Juilliard years taught you that still applies today?
The fundamentals are always important.
Okay.
And once you have the fundamentals, then you get to the really good creative stuff.
Focus on the basics. I've heard that's from so many successful people. All right. Favorite non-classical Vegas artist?
I have to say Clint Holmes.
Okay.
He's so deeply rooted and cares so much for this community. He is Las Vegas.
Let's hope we get him one day.
Yeah. We had him at Christmas
Well, okay.
for just a short little bit. So
Maybe you can make the intro so
Yeah.
we can, and maybe you can use this again as a backdrop. That
Oh.
could be cool. All right, cool. What fills your cup when you're not working?
visiting my grandchildren and traveling with my husband. And we're going to Italy on Sunday.
Oh, have a nice trip. Where are you guys going?
All the north.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yep.
Amazing. Very cool. Alice, any parting thoughts? Anything you'd like to leave our audience with? Talk about people coming over, whatever you want. It's your open floor.
Oh my gosh. Well, I would love for you to come to a concert. So
Well, thank you, yeah.
I would like to invite you to come as my guest.
Thank you.
And we'll let you see all the programs. We have our Terry Fader concert coming up in June. This is a community group where we're taking in artists from the Strip, but who is very much Las Vegas. And Terry had called us a few years ago and said, I'd like to do a symphony show. And I'm like, this is great. I'd love to pair with you. Okay. So somebody wrote the arrangements for him, and we're going to have his concert. And he's going to sing instead of just only have his puppets.
Wow.
So there are 2 Terry Faders in his marketing. You'll love it. It's a beautiful write-up.
Very good. We'll be here. You're gonna
Great.
have to add. We have to add a couple of plus ones. We have to add a producer.
Great, we can do that.
Wives around here.
We can do that.
So that's. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you.
Alice, is there any place where you would like people to find you or find out more about the Philharmonic?
Yes, if you go to Las Vegas, lvphil, phil.org, that's our website. You can learn more about our programs, and we're updating over the summer about all of the education things that we're adding, so that'd be a good place.
You're definitely a Vegas voice, and I thank you for being on our show.
Well, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
You, Alice. Thank you.
Wonderful.